Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Desiree. If this is your first time, welcome. And if you are one of my new subscribers, thanks girl for subscribing. And first of all, I want to address where this channel is going. I have no idea, but obviously you subscribe for a reason and you like me. So I definitely talk a lot about beauty. I am working on doing, a lot more beauty content, but I also talk a lot about femininity, things like, some more interesting topics like pretty privilege. If you haven't seen that video, go ahead and go check that out. And yeah, for the most part, just talking about self-love and self-confidence and self-esteem, self-worth, feeling like that beat. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into my video today. So basically, as I said, my name is Desiree. My name is actually French and it means desire. So I thought a lot about, like, as I'm in my journey of self-discovery, I found that naturally I just have a knack for people kind of being obsessively interested in me. No, I'm just kidding. Not to toot my own horn, but I'm just saying people seem to, like, want to be obsessed with my life and what I'm doing and who I'm with and what's my next move. But I think that just comes with the territory. But I feel like there's a couple of ways that, like, I naturally do this, but a lot of people you can use to make yourself more desirable. And first of all, I feel like desire obviously starts with attraction. If you're beautiful, you look like me, you look beautiful, people are gonna desire you, okay? So that's an obvious, but there's also some other behaviors and things that you can do to make yourself more desirable. So I wrote a list, girl, okay? And why is this important, you're probably asking? Well, as a feminine woman, that's kind of what you want. You want to be desired. You kind of want people to little chase. You want people to you want a little jog, maybe a little run, a little slight run. Okay, you want them to be drawn to you, and you don't want to have to, I notice I really don't have to do a lot for people to be drawn to me. When I step in a room, my presence is really felt, and people tend to notice me. Even if I look bad, if I look good, it doesn't matter. People notice me. And here's why. I'm going to tell you why. Okay, so number one, obviously, the first thing you want to do is draw people in. I would say on the superficial level, look good. I'm learning a lot about aesthetics, a lot about, like, my hair, my makeup, what clothes I wear, how it complements my skin tone and my features. That's obviously going to draw people in if you look good, and if you look bad, it's going to draw people in too, because they're going to look at you like you a clown. But either way, they're looking. So anyways, so number one, draw people in. So the first thing you want to do is, I notice that I radiate, or the first thing that I do is I make eye contact. Nowadays, I notice a lot of people don't like to make eye contact because it's a little bit too intimate. A lot of people, they'll look at you, but then they'll, like, look away, and then they're like, and then they'll look down, and then they'll look over. And I tend to do that sometimes because I'm distracted, but for the most part, if I'm in conversation with somebody, I'm gonna look you directly in your eyes and look through your soul and overanalyze you like the Scorpio that I am. And I'm gonna look right through you and I'm gonna be like, you full of okay? But yeah, so basically, make eye contact. The next thing that I feel like draws people in is your warmth. Warmth is kind of like just an aura around you that's kind of like And I wouldn't say you necessarily need to smile, but yes, you do need to smile because you don't want to walk around looking like. But that be me sometimes, for real though. So basically your warmth is just kind of, it's kind of more an energy thing. If you don't feel, you know, very happy or anything like that, it's gonna be harder because you can't really exude that warmth. But I feel like warmth is like the same feeling you get from like a crackling fireplace. When you're around it, there's just kind of, you can be like on the other side of the room and you feel the warmth coming from that fireplace or from that candle or from, you know, those sources of heat that just kind of fuels the whole room. It's kind of hard to explain how to have that, but like I said, it's more of an energy thing that you work on. And yeah, so the next thing is conversation. I tend to, when I first meet people, I definitely like smile and I'm like, hi. And the first thing I say is, I feel like I'm a little kid sometimes. Like, first thing I say is, my name is Desiree, and what's your name? And like, I feel like I'm in kindergarten again because I'm always like a name person. But in sales, they always tell you to, you know, like use somebody's name. And in my personal opinion, I like when a salesperson tells me their name because it's kind of like, you know, because sometimes people can be like, you know, you can be like, what's your name? And they'll be like, what? You want my social security number? Like, you know, some people are just like that. But, so I feel like it kind of breaks the ice and kind of warms things up. Well, like, hi, I'm Desiree. And I feel like my name just has like it's just that name, okay? It's like the singer Aaliyah. Like her name, when you hear it, you're like, okay, that's When you hear Desiree, you're like, who? Well, some people might be like, oh hell no, but we ain't talking about them because we don't care. But yes, so basically conversation, and I tend to be very like inquisitive. I tend to ask people a lot of questions. I think I just do it for fun. And really, do I really listen to them or care? Partly, you know, 50% of the time I actually care what they have to say. And 50% I just do it because it's kind of like just fun to me. Like, yeah, what's your favorite color? And you went to school where? And half of the time I'm not really listening. But anyways, go back to drawing people in. Those things, eye contact, conversation, and warmth, will draw people in. Number 2, penetrate them. Oh my God, that sounds kind of like, ugh. But anyways, what I mean by penetrate them is, first of all, I noticed this about my conversation, is the first thing I do is I listen to people, making that eye contact, listening to what they have to say. And then one thing I do that people really, really love, and I notice this, and I've heard from experts too, is that I repeat back what they said to me. Like they'll be like, yeah, so, you know, I went to school in, you know, Vallejo, and, you know, but I'm actually from, you know, Kansas City, Kansas. And I'm like, oh, wow, so you're from Kansas City. And like, you know, repeating back to them what they've said to you, really, people love that because we're naturally just self-centered. So we kind of like, oh, this person's really listening to me. I won't remember tomorrow. Let me stop. I won't remember tomorrow, but yeah, this person is definitely listening to me. They actually care about what I have to say, and they care about what, you know, so it makes them want to talk more. And yeah, I'm surprised that when I ask people questions, how much they, and when I do this, when I listen and when I repeat back what they say to me, how much they tell me. Like, it's literally like mouth vomit. It's like, yeah, and my mom, I'm like, did I ask you all that though? I didn't ask you all that. But people love to be heard. People love to feel like they're being heard. So the last one is to mirror them. So a lot of times people like to be mirrored too. Like I said, it's the natural, the ego, the self-centeredness, and you can throw in a couple compliments there to, yeah, that'll also really, really help. Like if you say, well, wow, you're very intelligent, or like, wow, you have you know, a lot of things, and people be like, yeah, well, you know, yeah, dude, you know, especially with guys that be like, you know, it's just, you know, that's how I do. I'm like, don't start feeling yourself, okay? Don't start feeling yourself, okay? Just chill, relax. Okay, so mirror them, and like sometimes mirroring their expressions or things that they say, like they'll be like, can you believe this happened? And then you'd be like, what? You know, that mirroring makes you guys feel very connected. And it almost makes you, like, sometimes when you mirror people, it makes it seem like you guys are one, like you guys are really connecting. It can be used manipulatively. That's why if you're on the other side, like, I feel sorry for you. But not saying that I do that to people, of course, that's never my intention. But people who have evil intentions, they really, like, the narcissist, yeah, they know how to, like I said, mirror you. Next, the third thing, to make them laugh. People love funny people. It doesn't matter, like, if you crack a joke here and there, people are just drawn to it. Like, they're like, people always tell me, they're like, oh my God, you're just like, you're so funny. And I'm like, what was so funny about, you know, sometimes it's just kind of my bluntness, or like, you know, my sarcasm, you know, the dry humor. And people are naturally just drawn to, yeah, people who are funny, who make them laugh, because life is freaking hard. So when you have people who, you know, either, you know, are just very carefree, playful, or, you know, they crack a joke here and there, it makes it puts down people's guards. Like, they're more like, okay, woo, I can relax. Like, woo, it was getting really tense in here. Like, it was getting really tense in here. But like, thank God you made a joke, because like, sweat was coming down from my forehead. So yes, make them laugh. And this is the ultimate thing that makes people start chasing, especially men as well, but also friends, whoever, family members. Detach. What does detach mean? Say, okay, look, say my fingers are connected like this, right? This is how we connect it. Detach. Boom, you got them. Okay. Anyways, but really what detaching means is not detach. Of course, it's not, you know, we're attached to people, we care about people, you're creating relationships, but to kind of have this ability to not cling to people makes them chase after you. So the first part is, I said disengage, but I don't know if that's the right word. I would say give space. After you've made this connection with somebody, like say you're networking and you're in a room full of people and you've really made this connection with that person, how do you test that the connection is kind of like they want you? You need to see that they desire you too. Say you're talking, you're chatting somebody up, you're at the bar, okay? You guys start talking, there's eye contact, you guys are having great conversation. Excuse yourself and say, well, it was great talking to you. Walk away, okay? Detach, sis. Detach, okay? When you detach, people either realize that, wow, okay, they have time to reflect and be like, oh, okay, I'm feeling this person. You know, we actually made a connection here. Or I'll just move on to the next person. You have to be confident enough to know that, to deal with either outcome. And so you give space, and then you wait for them to come back, is what I wrote. So you wait for them to come back to you, okay? You don't cling, you don't whatever, you move, like if you're networking or you're dating, whatever, you move around the room, you got options, you talk to different people, you start, you know, you make it you have to just be able to detach. Clinginess is a no. It's a no. Because it gives too much away. That person has, you can't give too much away either. You have to be able to keep an air of mystery around yourself, and I don't want to say an air of independence because I hate that word, but kind of keep some space between you guys to where it's like, okay, I can walk away at any moment and I'll be just fine. Boom. And then, oh yeah, number 5, I already said that. Number 5 was don't give everything away. Boom. Okay. You want to give people, enough, but you don't want to give them too much. And this is one of my hardest things, because sometimes I'm an oversharer, and then sometimes I share nothing at all. So finding that balance between telling them, you know, your whole life story and your childhood and, you know, what happened to you in the 2nd grade, you know, versus, you know, what happened to you last October. And you know what I mean? Like finding that balance between, here's something that you can connect to, but here's not everything about me. And so that's one of my hardest things, is not giving everything away, because like I said, everybody wants to be heard. Everybody wants to feel heard and be able to share parts of them, you know, like the deepest parts of themselves. But mystery is what keeps them chasing. Okay, so that is it for this video. I hope you guys like this video. Do not forget to click the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you like it. And yeah, I'll be coming back to you guys with more content soon. Mwah.